Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another homework discussion video. With me this week, we have got Laurie, as usual, and we have the lovely Izzy with us this week. Welcome back, Izzy. And
Thank you.
thank you guys for joining us to find out what's on offer for challenges this week. As usual, we are mostly guided by the daily 30, and then we jump to the supernatural, and we try and tie that all into everything we do in every other group. So stay tuned and see what's happening in your favorite stitching challenge group this week. All right, so we'll start with daily 30. What are we doing? This week?
Okay, it starts off Hamilton week, and it runs July 9th through July 23rd. And the prompt stitch goal is 100 stitches or 200 stitches, which makes it a lighter week. Starting off, prompt number 1, stitch on a piece that has something from both past and the present.
Izzy, you're first.
Past and the present. The only thing I can think of, I don't know if this would count, but the Dark Queen, she has past sections or that have been released, and she also has a present section that was just released this month.
So you're going literally past in time and present in time as far as the release of the stitch pattern.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I can think of.
That's a novel way of looking at it. Again, we have no jurisdiction to say whether or not that is right or wrong, but if you can explain it in such a way that might work, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling with this one too, mostly because I don't want to use my zombie run pieces, because I think there'd be a great many bookshelves that could fit into this prompt quite easily.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to stick to doing my 21 in 21 pieces for this month, at least 1 month to do it properly. So I'm just getting my album up. Here it is. All right, share with you my album. So, as I said, I'm limited by which pieces are actually on my current list of 21. And I'm hoping that this one, my world's postage stamp. Do you think there's anything past and present in there? There's plenty of past. The present could be the kids actually traveling.
Could be.
So that's about all I've got for that one.
Yeah, I'm doing this, and I bet Lisa, you could take a similar tack as I am. I'm doing As the Leaves Turn because it is a modern or a present depiction of the past.
Oh, okay, yes.
So
it's a modern painting of an old-fashioned subject.
Yes.
Well, see, my Stitch in Time came to mind instantly when I thought of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I've got to give that one a bit more thinking, because I haven't had anything jump out at me and go, oh yes, that's what it is.
When I read this, I had another thing also, Lisa.
Yep.
That sometimes when you kit projects, you use from stash, which is a product you bought in the past or you've had thread for a long time, and then you finish it out by buying new stuff. So you could have kitted it in the past and the present. If you explain it out, maybe it would work.
Maybe it would. Who knows? That's a really quite
along those lines. If like say something was released in like 2005 in the past, but you're stitching it in the present today, that might work.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like we're stretching fairly hard to make it fit. I feel like it's possibly this one. I feel like this might be more what they've got in mind. So the past in the present, that, you know, that's the past that the old lighthouse was built. It's an old lighthouse, but, you know, it's got present day people walking past it. Not that I think they're present day people, but I think that's sort of what they want. Or you've got an old house with a modern car in front of it.
Yeah.
So I'm totally stumped by that one, but that's
Yes.
okay. Maybe one of my Amish ones, because they're like, they live in the past, but that's them in the present.
Mm-hmm.
So I could do a raspberry homecoming or something. I'm not sure.
And you can also do penalty stitches. Do 100 extra stitches, and you still earn credit for the prompt.
I might just do that.
Okay, the next prompt, number 2, would be stitch on a piece that has some component that was hard to come by.
Easy.
Thinking. Not really anything that I have that was hard to come by.
Okay.
The only thing I can think of would be, I mean, she's my zombie piece, but the fabric is hard to come by because you have to buy it with the beads. She doesn't sell it separately for the sale. So that would be definitely something that would be hard to come by.
All right, I have one for this. My Chinese garden mandala, and it is hard to come by because it was designed so long ago that some of the threads you can't get. There's a particular type of thread that's no longer made. Plus, I tried to kit it up myself, and it was quite hard to find different things.
It's pretty.
I have this same issue. My Alhambra garden mandala has several Swarovski crystals in it, and I had to sub some out because I couldn't get the exact ones. I could just match the size and get close to the color. So same situation.
Yeah.
And I did it myself.
Awesome.
Okay, prompt number 3. Put some stitches in a piece that was a record breaker for you.
A record breaker.
See, when I think record breaker, I think, which is the one that stitched the fastest. And it's like, but it's done. How can I stitch on that?
Well,
sorry. When I hear record breaker, child.
You think cat?
It would be my supersized max color because it's my largest piece I've ever had. So that would be a record for me. And the fact that it's max color and has 238 colors, it's a record breaker for me for having a lot of colors.
Again, I have quite a few record breaking pieces, but they're in my zombie run. So I would say I'd actually be going the same. Oh, I wonder if it's a record breaker or not. How would you feel if I was to stitch on my Spooky Hollow, because it was a record breaker for me because it broke my record of never having stitched a Halloween piece?
There you go.
Yes.
So I got it so that I had a Halloween piece to stitch.
Got it. I went with the same thinking as you, Izzy, just my largest project I've ever attempted, and that's World Travel Bookshelf.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Next prompt. Stitch on a piece that you can tie to any of these three cities, which is Sydney, Australia, London, England, and Hamburg, Germany.
I have no idea.
I wonder if there would be any paintings of big blue dragons in any of the art galleries in any of those cities.
I don't know. Where was Phantom of the Opera filmed?
Well, you could tie it into Phantom of the Opera being played in the cities.
In the city?
Definitely played in Sydney. Definitely played in London on the West End.
I'll show if someone doesn't know what it looks like one-handed because my cat wants to go.
Yep. I reckon you could probably spin a story about that. You know, why don't you Google how long did it play on the West End in London for? And put that in your answer. You know, it might have gone for so many years because it was quite popular. And it was created in London, probably. It's an English one. So there you go. All right, I'm going to get bonus points. Can I tie into two of the cities? Sydney and London with my world's postage stamps.
Very nice. Yes. I don't know if they're giving away bonus points.
No, but hey, I can give myself bonus points.
Absolutely. Mine is World Travel Bookshelf. I just showed it. It has a good section from London there. So
there you go.
Okay. The next prompt. Stitch on a whip of your choice and tell us how you'd like to celebrate Independence Day. So it's freebie. You want to skip over that? And then there's a
Independence Day. Yeah.
Any Independence Day. It doesn't have to be America's Independence Day.
You got anything for that, Izzy?
Like any whip? I would have to go with Virtue.
Why?
Because the bright colors remind me of the fireworks that are set off during our Independence Day.
That works. Well, we don't have Independence Day. We have Australia Day. But on Australia Day, we like to party and eat food and drink and dance. So I think South American Angel would fit in with that story.
Me, I just like to spend it with family. So I would try to spin as the leaves turn because I just want to get more stitches in it. And there's a mother and son out in the pumpkin patch. I mean, they're just spending time together.
Yep. Spending time picking pumpkins together.
Okay. Number 6 is just a bonus. Work on a whip of your choice and take a photo with your favorite scene from Hamilton. So
cool. That's a nice one. So you're going to do 500 stitches for that.
For 10 tokens, yes.
Yep, that's a nice bonus. You can actually achieve that. And for people who don't have access to Hamilton on Disney, because that's where it is, I'm sure you can find a scene on YouTube. Just a hint there for people who have problems with streaming ones. All right.
Great.
And then that's it for Daily 30?
Yes.
All right, apart from obviously your 30 minutes a day. All right, so Supernatural. What are we doing in Supernatural, Izzy?
Give me 1 second. I had it pulled up and then it went away. We are doing season 4, episode 21, when the levee breaks.
Levy
breaks. Stitch on a project that is predominantly white, red, or black.
White, red, or black.
This one I'm doing in 403 Anchor Black, and it's a Life After Death Long Dog.
Nice.
So that's the one that comes to my mind.
That's good. Jump straight in your mind. White, red, or black. Got anything, Laurie?
Yes, I am doing the Zimmerman coverlet on actually light blue fabric and antique white floss. So kind of reversing that out. So
I don't have anything white, red, or black in my current rotation. So I would not be doing that prompt. But you don't have to do them all. Remember, you pick how many hundreds you want to do. You earn bullets depending on your stash. So that's one I wouldn't be doing.
And you could do penalty if you wanted to.
Yeah. There's plenty of prompts though, so I'll just pick the other ones.
Task 2. Stitch on a project with the title that starts with a letter in Smells Like a Duck, or was produced by a designer company, or designed by a person with a first or last name that starts with one of those letters.
All right, so we don't necessarily need to go through that, but SMELIKADUC.
DK.
Well, we already got the K in the like. So there's lots of letters to choose from there. All right, what's next?
Task number 3 is stitch on a project with a dream-like / hallucination quality.
I wonder if we're all going to pick the same one for that. What you got, Laurie?
you know, I think I'm gonna do Halloween Quaker, just because it's just a whole mishmash of stuff.
Well,
And
down
that's
to your
really
Christmas
great.
one because you finished it.
Yes, I know. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, there's a mishmash.
Well, I was thinking you guys might go for this one. Once Upon a Fairy Tale.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely, dream-like.
I may go with Virtue, because when you hallucinate, you might see different bright colors and whatnot when you're hallucinating.
Okay.
The 4th prompt is stitch on a project that includes a manual, portrays a battle of some sort, or presents a fragile person / object. Do I need to read that again, or?
No, I'm looking.
Okay.
A fragile person or object, basically.
One that comes to my mind would be Virtue again, because the flowers can be very fragile. If you're not careful, the petals and leaves may fall off. And if you don't water them, then they'll die.
Would I be pushing it to do my numbers sampler? Because fragile object, to me, this fishing line that he's fishing with would be fairly fragile.
Mm-hmm. Well, that, and he's a little boy, and little
Yeah.
kids are very fragile and they fall and hurt themselves all the time.
That's true.
That's true. I'm going to go with grounding force, because butterflies are fragile insects.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Their wings are fragile.
Yeah. Cool.
The next prompt is stitch on a project that includes an angel or a monster.
I got this. Spirit of Snow Angel. She needs to get done. She needs to get out of my line.
Oh, she's pretty.
She is pretty. I just don't enjoy her. So that will do.
Would that be me?
That would be you.
Well, I think I would go back to Halloween Quaker again. There's witches and skeletons that move, so I would say a skeleton that moves is kind of like a monster, if
Yeah.
that would work.
And there's a witch on a broom too.
Mhm.
I am gonna do Halloween Quaker. It's got witches, mummies, Frankenstein, vampires, skeletons, headless Nick,
Yeah.
I
the
could,
headless horseman.
Are you giving me permission to avoid that angel, aren't you? I could do my scary creatures on Spooky Hollow that I'm already stitching.
Sorry. You should do your angel.
Well, it depends. I like to do a different piece for each of these prompts because I can use more, get more pieces done.
Mhm.
Right. The next one is stitch on a project that infers obedience or speed.
So obedience or speed. Wow, such randomness. Well, for me, I do my postage stamps because there's a bike on it and bikes can ride fast. Plus, to travel between all those countries, you use quite a lot of speed in a plane to get there.
Mhm. I would do World Travel Bookshelf because there is a plane
Mm-hmm.
in there. I don't
That
know if we
works.
need to do that again, but
No, it's all good. Izzy?
I would use a white dragon because dragons do fly pretty fast.
Yeah, he would definitely infer speed.
The next one is stitch on a project with outer space or heavenly or political theme.
wow.
All right, I have outer space with it
You could
wasn't
work
me.
on your angel because she's heavenly.
I could, but I could also work on this because I wouldn't want to work on her twice. And there's an angel down in this one anyway. I've got an angel down the bottom. These are the Among Us characters. So they're flying around in a spaceship, so I could use them.
That's hard. Heavenly, can you repeat those three things? Heavenly.
Heavenly, outer space, or political theme.
Oh, political. You'd
So I
find
guess if you
political
haven't
in your travelers
like-
bookshelf.
Like 4th of July or flags, because that's political, I think.
You can make
Okay.
anything political.
Liberty welcome. We'll just go with that. That's pretty patriotic or political, I guess. I would try.
I'm gonna do Planet Dragons because it's the outer space, but it's with the dragons.
Cute.
Mhm.
The next one is stitch on a project where you made some choices independent of the designer. So something you changed outside of what the designer had.
I change things all the time.
Mhm.
I got one. This is one of my zombie runs, and I'll be working on this today. My alphabet sampler, and the biggest change I did is instead of going the way they've got it, I actually have gone all the way down, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, going down the columns instead of doing them across. So that was a big change.
That is a big change. Oh, I'm like you, I change things all the time. So I'm trying to think of what I really,
Want to work on.
yeah, it's what I want to work on. I would say get cracking. It was called for mostly Gloriana silk, and some of the things aren't large enough to show variegation. So I subbed some colors in, and because Gloriana's it can be very variegated. I just picked what I thought was closest. So anyway.
Lovely. Easy.
The one I'm gonna use is Until We Meet Again, because I changed the fabric, and since I did that, when I used the called for in the words, it didn't show it very well. So I had to use a lighter color on the words, and then I'm also gonna change that dark brown to like a light brown. So I made a couple of changes. The next one is stitch on a project that falls into the fancy lady category.
My South American angel is a very fancy lady.
I intentionally don't do a lot of people focused pieces, just a preference. So I would have to go back to Azalee's turn because the lady's in full dress.
Yeah, and she's fancy. Yeah. Izzy, you got fancy ladies. You're going to do your Queen of the Sea? No.
I'm going to do Miss Christmas Eve because she's a fancy lady.
She's very fancy.
Very.
I'm
Lovely.
hoping I can get her done this year, but we'll see. Gotta get a couple focus pieces out of the way first.
Yeah.
Number 10, stitch on a project that represents the nursing profession or includes babies or food preparation. Nursing, food, or babies.
Again, such interesting combinations. I feel like my little kids on my numbers are a bit old babies. I have a few, but they're not in my I have quite a few food preparation ones, but they're not in my current rotation. Ooh. What do you reckon? Would I be pushing the barrow to go raspberry homecoming as food preparation?
No, because they're collecting raspberries and
They are, but they're going to make
raspberries
something
for canning and jam.
Laurie?
Yeah, along those lines, I'd have to say possibly As the Leaves Turn, just because of the pumpkin patch and then the general store behind that had like sacks of flour and stuff like that on the deck for sale. So
yeah,
I'm gonna go with Taste Better because he's food prepping cookies and he's taking a break to eat some.
Yeah, why not? It's the best part, isn't it? Cookie day.
Yep. Number 11, stitch on a project with a French connection. Not 100% on that one.
A French Connection.
Uh-huh.
Again, I have a few houses and things that could be French, but they're not in my rotation.
Mhm.
So I'm going to pass on the French Connection, I'm afraid. Oh, no, I don't. Don't have to pass. Silly me.
Your stamps.
My stamps has Paris in it.
Yeah.
So I could do my stamps, but I don't want to double dip my stamps.
Yeah. I'm the same with World Travel Bookshelf. If I arranged it to where that was the only one, it has a Paris section in it.
Is he?
This might be stretching it, but sometimes everyone has fairy tales, and the French might have their own fairy tale to tell. So one of those themes might tie into a French fairy
Particularly
tale.
the fancy ladies and the knights, they were often, you got married to the King of France or the King of England, and they traded between the countries with marriage. So you could probably tie that in.
There we go.
Do we have a number 12 this week?
Yep, there's one more. Stitch on a project that has fought you to. Sorry. Stitch on a project that has fought you or brought you to tears, or which you have planned to set aside for a few months after one more stitching.
Again, she does such diverse either ors. I know exactly which one Izzy's going to pick. Am I right?
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't have anything for that. Nothing's brought me to tears, and I don't plan to set any of these aside just yet. What about you, Laurie?
I would say I have a UFO. It's here. I got a Mill Hill kit, a chalkboard series. That pineapple is heavily beaded, and it's on black Ada. I don't like Ada. I don't like black. I didn't know that at the time, and so I wouldn't say it brought me to tears, but I did chunk it in a drawer for a year. So
Yep, that counts.
And Izzy, what do you got?
My cat's meowing, and I'm trying to figure out what she's doing.
Yeah.
Would be this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess correctly.
The first time I saw it, I knew. And there's been a couple times I read the verse that I just
it's a very good sentimental piece, so that's really good.
Yes.
With special meaning. So that's
I have a couple of those. I have a dragon I'm doing for him, and then I'm actually doing their last family photo together in like a pick-to-cat that I'll do. I'm gonna stitch it. It's like a full coverage, but then I'm gonna give it to my sister-in-law / best friend.
All right. Well, thanks for that, Izzy. So No New Starts has got a few things rolling over this week. We've got the change of the birthday sale happening on the 16th, as always, and this on the 16th, it's going to. I've got Celtic Winter in there, so that should be exciting. I haven't worked on that for a long time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, change of the birthday sale. So finish up with your Mirabilia and your Haid. I think lots of people like me get busy and forget to post their ending photos. So don't forget to post it. So it's not really a minimum stitch. We had great fun in the riff off. It's finished. So Natalie's been working on that. She's a very hard task marker. She doesn't accept every answer you give. And then on Sunday, we're going to have our next round of Scrabble. So it's getting towards being our busy time in No New Starts. We also would like to let you know that No New Starts is continuing next year, and we're going to have a 3-tiered structure of main challenges. So everyone can participate to some degree in one of the main challenges. We don't want to have people next year who are not involved in the main challenge. So we're going to have 3 main challenges, and everyone has to participate actively in one of those to be in the group. And then they get to enjoy all the other fun events too. So more news on that coming in a couple of months, but it's all underway. We will be opening up the group. It'll be a new group for 2022, and that should happen around September, October. So if you've been interested in doing No New Starts and you haven't been able to get in, we'll let you know when it's going to open up.
Will be a new group entirely?
Yeah, so it's the same. It's basically the same group. Instead of No New Starts 2021, it'll be No New Starts 2022, and then everyone who's currently in the group can choose to come across, because otherwise we don't have time to get whip albums up and stuff, because you've got to still get them done by the end of the year, and we can't change the whip albums till we mark them, which will probably be about the 20th of December. So it's a very tight turnaround. So it's easier just to have a new group. So yeah, watch this space and you'll find out about it. All right, what's happening in the other games? Laurie?
Crystal Academy is continuing with the study series. We're on scrying and self-improvement that starts midday tomorrow on July 12th.
Cool. So yeah, and that's our last piece, I think, in the rotation of the first lot of spells.
We have History of Arcane
One more.
Creatures.
One more.
We have 2 more.
Cool. I'm confused where we're up to with it, but it's nice. I'm actually getting used to the 750 stitches. How are you finding that, Izzy?
I like it. I picked projects, like some of them are my zombie runs, and some of them there were projects that I wanted to get progress on, but there wasn't really anything I could fit in, or I kind of put it out of the wayside. So I kind of picked it for a priority just to get some stitches in.
Which is good. Dynasty of Dragons is in a little pause in the main game at the moment again, and building a hotel room. So each of the dynasties has a chance to build a hotel room with a really lovely twist this week. We got to actually help the other dynasties build their room. So that was really nice. We could give them, I guess, ingredients to build. I don't know, supplies to build. Look at that kitty cat. Survival of the Stitchiest. I've been having fun this week, and we are about to embark on building our homestead, which is a long range project. And I feel like there's an attack in the wind, which can be really cool. What about pirates, Laurie? Any news on pirates?
Pirates is really a self-paced game, which is nice. But where are we at? We started on our second map, and it's a bit more challenging, or it should be. But I'm enjoying it because it is stitch at your own pace. Even when you get into locations where there might be some danger, you can choose how long you want to linger and how much danger you want to face, or you can just hop back in your safe boat and get away.
And just get away, go sailing. Yeah. Okay, what about you, Izzy? You're in Stitchagon Trail, I believe.
Yes, I'm in the Macintosh family, I believe. We just there's a pop-up event where there was like a water fountain that was found, and we were going mining. You'd had to take a shower first with 250 stitches, and then you could, if you had a mining pan, you could use that, or you would have to borrow one. And you can collect up to 15 flecks of gold. I think, is it 10 flecks or five flecks to make 2 gold coins, and you can only make 2 gold coins at one time, I think. So that happened this weekend, but it's purely based on like just your family and what you're stitching, like
Seems
food
like,
and miles and stops.
Lots of games seem to have that internal focus where you run your own race based on your little group, which I think a lot of people are enjoying. There's not so many of the go and kill each other games happening at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm in another one called Zombie Apocalypse, where you have to go out and attack zombies or stay at home and build up supplies. So that's lots of fun. And You just reminded me of that, Izzy, when you said have a shower every time you come back from hunting your zombies or looting the neighborhood. You have to have a shower and rest. And there's like one shower in each, I don't know, house, and a couple of bedrooms. And you can't have a shower if someone else is in the shower. So you've got to actually wait till someone's finished stitching their shower before you can jump in the shower, which is great. Not so good for the people who like to mark their place and go to bed.
Yeah, because we had to shower because we've been out traveling and whatnot, and we're going to be elbow to elbows, and we don't want to be sharing that space with stinky people. So we had to shower first before we could begin mining. So they've had a couple like pop-up events over the weekend, and that's been pretty fun.
Cool. All right. Anything else that I've missed that you can think of, Laurie?
No.
Semi saying
is gonna do their next round of voting for Choose My Whip for the third round.
Yep, cool. Get your votes in for Choose My Whip. Thanks.
And
Izzy.
get your stitches in as well.
Yes.
I have yet to do mine.
And letter O is coming up in the alphabet. You caught up yet, Laurie?
No, not on Language of Flowers. And zombie run pieces.
My goodness. Can I just say, since I've been doing this video with you guys, the first phone call I ignored was from America, and that one is from Japan. I don't know who's ringing me from America and Japan. I must have made it on some international mailing list now. Fantastic. All right. Anyway, well, thanks for joining us. We hope that gives you a bit of information to help you with your stitching this week. As always, we hope you get lots of stitching done and have a great week. Bye.
Bye.